Hello friends, I am going to share with you part 2 of what happened with our plans to breed Matilda. So she was over visiting our friends and she was there for quite a while, and I have shared on a previous video some concerns we had that we did not see her cycling. And when she got there, she was there from July, early in July, and there was no interest at all from the bulls. There were several bulls on that property and they just were not interested. She was not interested and she wasn't cycling, and so we had become quite concerned. Is there something wrong? Why isn't she cycling? We had looked at different options of what we could do about that, but realistically, we were not in a position to start investing a lot of money in vet bills or consulting with an AI tech or any of those things. And so after talking to our friends, talking to each other, we're like, okay, we're just going to pray, because we are just going to have to let nature take its course with this one. And we were thinking like, oh, what are we going to do if nothing happens, or if we can't get her bred again? She won't, we need to get her bred in order for her lactation to come back in, for her to be in milk. And she obviously might produce a little bit of milk, but she wouldn't produce full amount of milk again without lactating. So yeah, we were sort of in a quandary. We're like, what are we going to do? And we were in that space for a couple of months of just waiting, hoping, praying. I would say to Christina, has she cycled yet? Is there anything happening? Is there any action? Do you have good news for me? And she'd be like, no, nothing is happening. I don't know what we're going to do. And then this happened. Hey, baby.
She was so excited to.
Look how big her udder is.
I saw it a couple of days ago. I said, well, she didn't put a bunch of milk on it.
Hey.
This guy.
Yes, I want to see the baby. Oh my goodness.
That's Matilda's ears.
Oh, Matilda, do you have a baby? You were keeping a secret. Can you believe that, Gracie? Isn't she just so cute? You can pat her, Zion. Oh, Matilda, this is your baby. Are you hungry, baby girl? You hungry? Look at all that milk. I kept walking around the house last night just going, I cannot believe it. Like, I'm so shocked right now.
Daddy showed us a picture of Matilda at the talking, and I was like, is that Matilda?
Yes. I didn't believe that grass, but she'll eat it. She'll walk on some of it.
Hey, oh, don't go on the, oh, right in the manure. Come back to mama. Come back to mama.
What baby got?
What are y'all gonna name this little one?
I know, I haven't even thought about it.
It has a perfect face. Yes, I know. That's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, because we're like, it's got to be Hereford. Look at the white on its face. Of course, we're checking on stuff. We're like, who's baby?
That's so funny. So you were wandering around the yard trying to figure out whose baby it was.
And it was after dark, so we had it in the barn, and Bobby's on the buggy, and he goes to get his headlight to go look out in the pasture and see who has slime on them. We're like, somebody calved this baby today. And then I'm like, there's no way it got under the fence, Bobby. There's no way. And so I thought it was a blind cow, and then Carson all of a sudden says, that's got to be Matilda's. Look at its ears. And we looked, and she's got like slime on her. We're like, yeah, yep. It's Matilda's.
And here we are over here praying like, Lord, just get her in calf and make her cycle. And
Zion did not want to eat her.
No.
Out of the house, he's like, I don't want to do that. Look at that baby. And that is so little.
She is tiny.
Was eating good last night off of her.
Oh, no.
Where are you going, sweetie? Oh, she's going to where she knows she gets feed.
Yeah.
Oh, careful, honey.
Are we gonna put her in there?
Yeah, we'll keep her in the holding yard. Yes.
You might be able to see Dad by.
I'm going to get her. So she's back on our property. And unbeknownst to us, Matilda was keeping a secret. So I said to Mum, I'm just going to get her some breakfast. We're moving her paddock today, extending it out today. Hey, baby. What you doing? What you doing, baby? So we're keeping her, I haven't started milking her yet. Hey, baby. We're keeping her in here at night, and then during the day she goes out and we're rotating her around different paddocks. I'm going to move her paddock today. But I said to Mike, I feel like my dad would roll over in his grave if he realized that his daughter totally missed that this animal was in calf. Now, what really threw me is that I thought I had seen her cycle a couple of times. So she, in April and in June, I think it was, or maybe it was May. Anyway, there was 2 months where I was milking her and I had seen a large, I think I talked about it, I showed it even on a previous video, a big stringy gel substance coming out of her rear from her vulva, and that is one of the signs of a cow being in cycle. There are others. And so when I had seen that on 2 separate occasions, 2 different months, I thought, okay, that's her cycling. Clearly it was not. It must have been some kind of pregnancy thing, you know, because she was hiding little baby from us. So the full story is we got a phone call. I had 2 or 3 missed calls from Christina and Bobby, and I thought, oh, that's odd, I better call back, because it was in the evening, it was after dark, and I called, then a photo came through of a little calf drinking from Matilda. Now, if you haven't heard this part of the backstory, Matilda had adopted 2 orphan calves for Christina, 2 orphans that she had that needed, she was feeding them, and it just helped Christina to have, so she was still supplementing because Matilda didn't have a ton of milk, but she was feeding and mothering these calves. She was really protective of them, and I thought, oh, she's got another orphan calf on Matilda, that's cool. So I called and Christina says, Chrissy, you're a grandma, and I'm like, what? And she had dropped this baby while Christina was at work, and they got home that night and they couldn't figure out whose calf it was, and then they suddenly realized, because they didn't even think of Matilda, because I told them Matilda was not in calf, but she was. All of those months of praying and worrying and like, oh no, what are we gonna do if we can't get her in calf? I said to Mike, I'm sure the Lord was just up there chuckling, knowing that he had it sorted already. We had no idea. Oh, so funny. All right, I'm going to give her a biscuit of hay. So if you forget to bring the knife down to the barn, you can just use a piece of string, a piece of baling twine. I'm going to give her this to just to keep her occupied while I move the fence. You can still talk, but we have to introduce James. So this is James. Say hi, James.
Hello.
So the boys are coming down to help me move Matilda. We're just going to extend her paddock, but let me tell you, these boys have been having so much fun. Is it cool to be back together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. You are
Minute.
you and your Texan accent. James is going to wind up the string. The boys are putting in a new grounding rod because we actually couldn't find the grounding rod, and then they found it. And we are going to leave this laneway here so that we can lock her up every night easily in the pen. And we are going to move this paddock. So she has been in this area for a while. I'm really glad that we gave her quite a large area. We went to Fort Worth last weekend and had a friend taking care of things. It was just a blessing. Last time we were milking, I had to milk twice daily and I couldn't miss it. Now that we're calf sharing, when you have an emergency situation arise, or it just takes that pressure off. So, and we had a big enough paddock that I didn't have to move her, so that was good. We're just making this laneway sort of come further down and then widening it out at the other end. We are having to use the drill bit. I'll show you in a minute. We haven't had rain here in a few weeks. We had one little shower. It's amazing to me still that just a few weeks without rain here can make the ground go rock hard. A few weeks without rain in Australia is nothing. It's nothing. But a few weeks here and we're almost, you know, the ground's starting to crack open and it's rock hard and you have to use a drill to get these spikes to be able to go in. I physically cannot get them to go in without a drill. So it's crazy. So Caleb is just pre-drilling the hole with this long drill bit, but it keeps getting stuck. It's certainly better than trying to do it by hand, but ow, yeah, careful. Need two hands. Is that going in? A bit better. So you're going to have to wind that around so it's a bit tighter. Just position the reel. You just have to sort of wiggle the position of the reel. It is a bit difficult. So the boys are going to go check the line and make sure there's no grass touching anywhere. And Matilda is very respectful now of the hot wire, so I am going to let her out of our dodgy gate that is tied up with a piece of string. But she is such a good sweetie that she doesn't push on it. Here you go, baby. You want to go find some fresh grass? And I will pull this open. Now, are you coming out, baby? So, Mike and Mick are going to hopefully hang this gate today. Hey, you sweet girl. Hey, baby. You want to come with me and we'll get you some fresh grass? Come on. Hey, baby. I'll have to tell you the story of this little one's name soon. Come on. Come on, fresh grass. Come on, baby. Okay, so she does go under the fence. She does, but she will not wander far from her mama. Come on. Come on, Tilda girl. Come on, baby. So, yes, look. Fresh grass, fresh grass. No one has turned the fence on, I promise.
I did.
Oh, fresh grass, baby. Fresh grass. Okay, so we have one extra post. Maybe put the post in there. Woo! Is it fun to run? Is it fun to run?
Imagine getting the fence to turn on right now.
So boys, can you go get that one extra post and put it there? Are you getting the post, Cabes? Because it's a bit of a low spot there. There's a low spot right there.
Oh yeah, go get it, go get it.
No, because we fixed it. We're fixing it.
How are you fixing it?
Or you can take all the wire back.
Oh, you're just pulling up the slack?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as it can't... So what we don't want is Matilda getting tangled in it.
That'd be bad. She'd die.
If you can pull up the slack, that's fine. We'll have to keep an eye on it, boys. If it doesn't work, I'll have to get you to come back down and put the extra post in, righto? She reminds me of a toddler first thing in the morning after breakfast. So much energy. Cleo! Oh, she's gone out to the boys. So let me tell you the story of how we named the calf. So she is a little heifer calf, which is so exciting because not only did we get an unexpected heifer on the ground, unexpected calf on the ground when we had no clue that it was coming, but we have a heifer calf, and she did come from, we do not know the sire of the calf, but Matilda did come from a dairy farm. So I think it's a fairly safe assumption that it will probably be a dairy bull of some kind. Not 100% guarantee of that. But our plan is to keep the little calf. She's just running all around. And raise her as a second milker, which is was always our plan to eventually have a second milker, and now it's just like we've been given one. So how cool is that? Because if we have got Matilda in with one of our friends' bulls, it would have been a Simbra or something like a beef bull. So very cool that we've got this situation. So this little one with the beautiful painted face is Cleopatra. You may remember when we were naming Matilda, we did toy with the name of Cleopatra, and the reason for that is back in Australia, in the Gympie area where we lived for a number of years. Run, baby, run. there was a company called Cleopatra's Bath Milk, and they sold raw milk, and it was I guess a bit of a play on words and a little bit of a loophole in the system, because you cannot sell raw milk in Australia, at least not where we were from, and they sold it as for cosmetic purposes only. And it was called Cleopatra's Bath Milk. Obviously Cleopatra of ancient Egypt was known for bathing in milk for her complexion. So we were going to name Matilda Cleopatra, but it just didn't kind of seem to fit her. And Matilda is such a, I don't know, just a nod to our homeland. And but Cleopatra, it was Jared's idea, our 17-year-old, to name her Cleopatra. And so this time, and Mike did say one of these days we're going to have a cow called Cleopatra. So now we do. And we just call her Cleo or Cleopatra, because, you know, Aussies shorten everything, so she's Cleo. So yes, do not worry about the fact that she can get through the fence. We have a perimeter fence, so she can get outside of this single wire, and she does frequently. She will run all around the property, but in the near vicinity to her mum, because she does not want to be far from her food supply. So she runs around and then she comes back. And like I said, the perimeter fence is on either side, it's at the back, so she can't go too far. It is interesting to me, Matilda is down here in all of this. It's a really weedy patch, and one of the things I love about farming and growing food regeneratively and trying to seek out the natural order of things. We are managing, we are, I guess, guiding, nurturing, trying to do that to improve systems. But she has automatically come down here. This, I believe, I've been using the Seek app to help me learn the names of new plants and trees and things. And this came up as a Missouri ironweed. I don't know if that's that's the one with a purple flower. I don't know if you can see that. But there is other things in here. There's ragweed and there's milkweed. But animals will be naturally drawn to medicinal plants. Oh, that's something else. What is that? And they will just basically self-medicate by foraging. I wonder what that is. She really likes it. It's a vine. So she's getting right in amongst it. And we have like all that open grassland. But she is going for this. Oh, nearly fell over. You like that one, Tilda? I wonder if I can see. Can you guys see that? It has a willow-like leaf. Oh, baby. I'm going to see if I can tell what that is. What this plant is that she is just loving. Let me see. It's this one here. Does anyone recognize this? Whatever it is, Matilda loves it. I'm going to see if the Seek app will tell me. Okay, so it's this one here. It has this, and I just looked it up on the Seek app, and it says that it's swamp smartweed, and it's in the buckwheat family, and it's a semi-aquatic, so it grows in swampy areas or low-lying wet areas, which makes complete sense because this I don't know if you will be able to tell the terrain. There is a little gully comes through here, and in heavy rain, this is a waterway. Just carries water sort of down through here, down through to the back paddock, the back end there. But she's come around again, and she is getting into that. So that's just fascinating to me. I don't know. I love that. So she is eating this swampweed. You know, animals, generally speaking, I'm not saying you can't have trouble with them eating toxic plants, but generally speaking, animals are very intuitive about what they ought to and ought not to eat. I think a lot of times when you run into problems, it's if you put them in a paddock and they have no choice but the toxic plant, then you might have problems. Or if there's if it is the majority of the options, but they know how to listen to their bodies. Generally speaking, they will have good intuition on, and a lot of times these low-lying areas or forest edges, the edge of bushland, there will be brushy forages that are often herbal, medicinal plants that we might otherwise call weeds, but they know they need those things, and it's really good for their overall health to have diversity in their feed, a diversity of options. So she did start with the grasses in this open area out here, and she definitely was eating these, or this grass here, but she didn't take long to gravitate down to that swampy area and get into that, I haven't heard of that before, swamp smartweed. So interesting. So there you have part two of breeding Matilda, which ended up being completely taken care of by by the Lord. He had it all sorted. We were all fretting about it, but he had it all sorted. We were told when we bought her that she had been exposed to a bull before she left the dairy farm. But because I think what really threw me, there is a beautiful red cardinal. I don't know if I'll be able to get this. Anyway, I digress. So we knew she'd been exposed to a bull, but because I had seen what I thought was her cycling a couple of times, I thought, okay, she's not pregnant. So obviously, lesson learned. Clearly, that is not always a good indication. So we now have Matilda and Cleopatra, and a very happy end to our uncertain story of how that was going to play out. God is good. Okay, friends, I'm going to love and leave you. Sunshine and raindrops. Until next time, I'm not exactly sure when that will be. We are trying to really be present for our friends' time here. They're here with us for a few weeks. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.